Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a Thursday evening of Ted's Booze Cellar, the most premier alcohol review show on YouTube. Here with me, your gracious host, Ted. I've just come back from the gym, and I had to take off my shirt and my shoes and everything else because it has been raining a hell of a lot in the UK recently because we've had quite a few storms. So, yeah, I'm a bit soggy and a bit sort of cold and freezing, but we go on as we mean to go on, and I'm going to round out the trilogy of Glenfiddich whiskies today by reviewing good old Glenfiddich 18-year aged single malt Scotch. Now, I've had a pretty good experience with 18-year aged single malt whiskies on this channel in the past. Obviously, you guys know the Arran 18-year single aged malt, and I'm hoping this will be much of the same. Although the former is definitely pretty hard to beat, so we'll see how that goes. But I do have to say, I really like the design of the bottle and the label on this one in comparison to the other drinks in the Glenfiddich Whiskey mini-series that has kind of transpired on this channel. I really like the contrast of colours here, actually. The, obviously, gold outline really stands out nicely against most colours, to be fair, but obviously that sort of cream white background is very nice, and then you've got that slightly royal blue background against the stag there. That's really nice. I really like this. I'll give it a understated but nonetheless very respectable 9 out of 10. I think it looks really handsome. Very, very handsome. Now, as I did with the 15-year and 12-year aged single malts from Glenfiddich, I thought I'd just bring up their website and read a little bit about the 18-year aged one they've got on offer. So they said it's got a sort of flavour and style of oak, baked apple and cinnamon, which is quite interesting. It's quite a stark difference in flavours actually when you think about it to the 15-year aged one, and it is part of their flagship collection. Now, it says here, a truly exceptional single malt, the result of whiskey making craft and knowledge passed down through the generations. We marry our 18-year-old in small batches of no more than 150 casks. Every batch is individually numbered and carefully watched over. Each has extraordinary consistency and character from an intense marrying period and a warming distinguished finish. It's got a colour of dark gold. It is kind of a darker shade than the previous two whiskies from these guys, but I wouldn't say it's dark gold. I'd say it's more amber gold, maybe? Then it's got a nose of a remarkably rich aroma with ripe orchard fruit, baked apple and robust oak. It's got a finish that is warming, rewarding and distinguished. And it's got a taste of richly delivering luxurious dried fruit with candy peel and dates, overlaid with elegant oak notes. An interesting mix. It sounds like it could be a bit of a fine balancing act, but it also sounds like that could be amazing. So yeah, that does sound pretty good. It's a bit of a nice and straight to the point kind of description, and that's kind of what I like in a lot of drinks. So yeah, I like the sound of that. Anyway, let's have ourselves a quick snifter of this thing to see what our first impressions are like. Whoa, that's a powerful smell. It's quite overpowering, so I imagine it's probably not for everyone. But still, it's a smooth enough nose nonetheless. Yeah, no, that's a good nose. I'd say probably say like an 8 out of 10. There's something missing from the nose, but that sort of rich, oaky sweetness really does stand out very nicely. So, yeah, I'll give the nose a good solid 8 out of 10 for sure, definitely. Anyway, before we see what this drink tastes like, quick palate cleanser. We'll just take a quick moment actually to smell the nose of the drink while it's in the glass. So yeah, definitely better in the glass. Got a bit more room to breathe. There's something in the after smell that I'm not quite sure about, but it's definitely a lot nicer in the glass for sure. So I'll give it in the glass, the nose, a 9.5 out of 10. Very good stuff. But anyway, as always, let's see what this sucker tastes like, and to everyone else at home, bottoms up, and I hope you have a good week ahead and a good 2024. That is very good. That is really nice. One of the smoothest scotches I've ever had, actually. My God. That's remarkably smooth for a Scotch. That's incredible. Mm. Mm. It's really smooth, yeah. I definitely think 18 years single aged malt is generally my favourite kind of whiskey for just drinking on its own. It's so smooth. It's obviously got that fieriness at the end there, but when you swallow it down, but it's compulsively drinkable for sure. This is probably actually quite a good first point of entry for people who are trying 18-year aged single malts for the first time. It's definitely quite fiery, and the aftertaste is quite strong to the point where I can imagine that people might be a bit drawn away from it. But honestly, the impression that people have of scotches being overly fiery and sort of too harsh for the general palate, I feel is a little bit unfair in general. But with this, it's not so much of an issue. So I do feel like this is a very, very nice, compulsively drinkable, smooth whiskey that most people could get behind them if you like whiskey anyway. Mm. Yeah. What did they say the taste was meant to be like again? So it's got richly delivered, luxurious dried fruit with candy peel and dates, overlaid with elegant oak notes. The oakiness is the main flavour I'm getting. Yeah, it's got this overlaying flavour of oakiness that's really smooth. It's quite strong, but it doesn't overpower the other flavours too much. And then there's this sort of like, so very sort of understated, yeah, fruity candy peel, sort of sweetness, this tanginess overlaying everything. Got this fruit line of like dried forest fruits, like I'm sensing like a little bit plummy, a little bit raisiny, a little bit sort of yeah, dried forest fruits from like Central Europe almost. And then the datiness of it, I can't get quite as much, but there's a little bit of it in the aftertaste for sure. And that kind of sweetness does undercut everything really nicely at the end. So yeah, this has got really well balanced flavour. I think the oakiness is quite prominent. That's the main flavour I'm getting in general, but it complements the other flavours really nicely. So that is really good actually. Yeah, very well balanced flavour indeed. I think the oakiness could be toned back a little bit, and some of the other flavours could be accentuated a little bit more. But what is here is really good. Would I say it's as good as the Arran 18-year single age malt? Probably not. Would I say it's as good as the Glasgow 1776 I reviewed with Imogen Owen and Big Phil? Again, probably not, to be honest, because that also is in a league of its own, really. But this is still really good. As far as, big well-known breweries that are kind of mainstream that you can get readily available in the supermarket are, this is right up there as one of the better ones. This is really, really good stuff, this particular version of Glenfiddich. Really, really nice. And the prominence they put on how unique each batch of this particular whiskey is really shows, because it is actually very good. It's smooth, it's got a nice fiery aftertaste, and then it's got a really balanced set of flavours that complement each other and the texture really nicely. The oakiness, like I said, it is a bit overly prominent in some areas, not too badly, and it doesn't really ruin the drinking experience that much. But as things go, this is really good stuff. Solid 8.75 out of 10. Thoroughly, thoroughly enjoyable. Really, really good stuff, yeah. Definitely would recommend. But as always, if you guys like this video, leave a like, share and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for future episodes of Ted's Booze Cellar, let me know in the comments section down below. And if you want to check out my other social medias, I'll leave those in the video description down below. And if you want to suggest any drinks for future episodes of Ted's Booze Cellar, or just any general video ideas, let me know in the comments section down below. I do want to diversify my portfolio in the coming months. But anyway, until next time, have fun, stay safe for whatever you're doing, don't do anything I wouldn't do, wash your hands, drink responsibly, know your limits, and I'll see you guys at the bar next time on Ted's Booze Cellar. Bye bye for now. For God's sake, I forgot forgot what I was doing again.